Good morning. This morning I will be changing the counterweight on my VPI Classic 3 tone arm, and here are the tools that I'll need to do so. The proper VTF gauge, a hex key, the azimuth adjust bar from VPI, and an angle protractor. One of the first steps that I take when I set up the counterweight or even just start to set up the VPI tone arm is when I take the counterweight and I make sure that the locking nut on the counterweight here is dead center in line with this adjustment hole here. First things first, we'll take off the counterweight. Make sure this locking arm mechanism is down on the tone arm. Mine is down, but it's kind of weak. Since my favorite expression is stuff happens, I'll tie it down. We all know what these are. Now I can work in comfort and peace. Gently. Here we go. This is the standard 140. Excuse me. This is the standard 140 counterweight. I think the arm is lighter. It makes sense that it's lighter because I've had to move the counterweight out much further to the end of the tone arm than normal. On my classic 10.5 I tone arm, the counterweight was closer to the pivot point, and I kind of like that. The folks at Elusive Discs were kind enough to send me a new counterweight for about 90 bucks, including shipping. Old counterweight, new counterweight. Here's how you put the counterweight on. Duh. Okay. And we'll find out if this was a good idea or not. For right now, I'm going to do my standard alignment procedure, and we'll see if this is a good idea or not. My whole objective in getting the new counterweight was to move the counterweight closer to the pivot point of the arm. Maybe it works, maybe it makes sense, maybe not. It will all be resolved in the listening. The counterweight's installed, so let me start to set up the tracking force and azimuth adjustment. Okay, I'm getting ready to set up the coarse VTF. I have the heavier counterweight on. As you can see, well, let's see if we got this. Okay, we'll back it up. Backing it up, backing it up, backing it up. All right. As you can see, it's too heavy. So I'm going to slide the counterweight back. Just a skosh. Just a skosh. Still trying to keep it in line. The hex key hole in line with the alignment hole on the top of the arm too. Let's see. Okay. I kind of feel that that's kind of right. There we go. Skosh back. I went back, and you probably won't believe this, probably about 2000s. How do I know this? Who knows? I'm going to get the VTF gauge and give it a shot. One of the reasons that I'm so enamored with the Shure M97XE is that I can use two different styluses on it. However, the two different styluses have two different VTF ranges. The stock Shure M97XE stylus has I believe a 1 to 2 gram tracking weight range on it, and the Jico stylus has a 1.25 plus or minus 250. What do you got it? 25 thousandths of a gram. So, and when I set these up, I try to adjust them so that I can swap the styluses in and out without readjusting the tracking force. So we'll see where this one is. Okay, with the stock Shure M97XE stylus in here, I got 2.414 thousandths of a gram, which is way too high. What I'm going to try to do is aim for like about 1.97. History has shown in the data that I have that if I hit 1.97 on the stock Shure M97 XE stylus, that will also translate into, let's say, a maximum of about 1.4 on the Jico stylus. 1.4 on the Jico stylus. Okay, here we are with the stock stylus in. I'm at 1.832. Um, that'll work. That should work. That should work. Let me move this around. Okay. What I'm going to also do is double check this digital gauge. I have several excuse me. I have several digital gauges. However, I don't really trust any of them. I always balance the readings on the digital gauges against what I get on my Shure gauge. Wait a minute. The reason for that is I found that even when I calibrate the various digital gauges, I will get different readings on them. So what I try to do is I'll set the tone arm, let's say to 1.5 grams, and then bounce that against the reading that I get by using the Shure gauge. If I'm balanced or close to balance around 1.5 grams, I kind of know that my settings is okay. And any setting that I do get with the digital gauge, again, I bounce that against a setting that I have with the Shure gauge. And the only thing I'm trying to do is kind of like find out if I'm in the ballpark. I know digital gauges are more accurate than mechanical gauge. I understand that. But again, it's just a way of reassuring myself. I now have the Jico stylus in. I'll take a swag at that, and I want to see what the readings are for it. The VTF is for it, let's say. Wow, I'm at 1.326. I like it a little higher. I usually like 1.4. I'm gonna change it. I have the Shure set to 1.484 thousandths of a gram. I'm happy with that setting. I'm pretty sure that the Shure stock stylus will come in at under 2 grams. Perfect. I'm at 1.956 or 1.950 thousandths of a gram. I'm good. I'm good. I like that. So what this gives me is the ability to change from the stock stylus to the Jico stylus at a whim or whenever I have a desire to. To be honest and unashamedly, I kind of like the stock Shure stylus. What it does, it doesn't give me the best performance, okay, in the absolute sense. It gives me the best overall performance. I can put on a record and not worry about enjoying it or not. As long as the turntable will turn with this setup here, I know that I will be able to get emotionally involved with the music. And for me, that's what I want to do. Once I get all the tools set up, I bring the arm over to the middle section of the record and I check my azimuth with my protractor. And what I'm trying to do here is whatever reading I have here, I make sure I have the same reading here. And if not, I just adjust the counterweight till I get them both the same. And that's it. Thank you for your attention.